and welcome to our Gold Learning viewers. I'm Fiona Lang Sharp, IBCLC. I'm Director of Communications and MC for Gold Learning. Well, I have the pleasure of sitting down with Christina Smillie here today, and she's going to be speaking at our upcoming Gold Learning Online Tongue Tie Symposium for 2017. Putting the Pieces Together is the title of that symposium. That will be live on September 18th. You can go to our website at goldlearning.com to get all of the details coming up. We're going to have 5 hours of expert speakers in education, and we can't wait to have you come and join us. And of course, one of those speakers is going to be Dr. Christina Smillie. Welcome, Tina. It's great to have you back here at Gold. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Fiona. It's good to be here.
So, Tina, as we get started here, you're talking about the posterior tongue tie, as we can see on the screen, and I can see that confusion, concerns, and controversies in the conceptualization, definitions, diagnosis, and treatment of problems of tongue tie mobility affecting the breastfeeding babies. Well, that is quite the mouthful right there. So I'm sure you're going to have lots to share on that topic in just a moment here. But let's start off. I know you quite well now, Tina, but please, if you would be so kind to introduce yourself to our listening audience today and tell them what your life looks like on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, so I am a physician and lactation consultant. I have been had a practice for the last 21 years exclusively in what we call breastfeeding medicine. So I only see mothers and babies together. I don't do any primary care, so I get referrals from doctors, from lactation consultants, from La Leche League leaders, from individual mothers, self-referring or from their friends. And I have several other people working with me, both lactation consultants and nurse practitioners and other physicians, so forth. Um, uh, and basically, what we do is we see people that mothers and babies who have breastfeeding problems, and usually spend about an hour and a half or 2 hours with them in the first place, and then follow-up visits. It can be typically also about an hour and a half. And we're just trying to get to the bottom of what issues are. A lot of times families have seen other lactation consultants before and run into trouble, or the lactation consultants weren't sure what was going on, or whatever they did didn't work or did work for a while. So we get some fairly complicated things from people who come from right around in the neighborhood or drive an hour and a half or 2 hours to come see us.
Wow, incredible. And I know from talking to you previously, you're very busy. You have a lot of things going on in your practice, right?
Yep, that's for sure.
And
So,
all the other things that you love to do. I know you're one of the most passionate people I know, Tina. So we appreciate we appreciate you being here. I know this is something that you're very passionate about, and as even in your title suggests, the confusion, concerns, and controversies, they exist in this subject matter. And so perhaps you can just explain a little bit why this is so important to you to talk about this.
well, we see a lot of babies who are having a lot of different problems with breastfeeding, as you can imagine. That's the whole point of our practice. And many of them come to us either having already been diagnosed by somebody as having posterior tongue tie, or being told that they've got some kind of problem there. Sometimes they arrive in our office having already had seen a dentist, or somebody has already taken care of the presumed diagnosis, and yet they're still having trouble. Or we see people that basically have come to us very passionately committed to the fact that this must be what the problem is. And certainly we see a lot of controversy there, because very often one provider has told the mother that for sure the baby has this problem, and another provider has told the mother that for sure the baby does not have this problem. And so it's really really a concern to me because it's a relatively new diagnosis and we're still learning how to make those decisions. It's not that
Sure.
easy.
Isn't that the truth? That almost gives me goosebumps that, that we are still learning. But I get frustrated when I hear that, that this is fact or this is the way it has to be, because it just isn't true. There's so much to be developed yet, and I know that we're still trying to see, results from research and things like that, and it's still an area that, of course, with, being that it's with infants, it's very challenging to get accurate research in this area as well. So over the next few years, I anticipate we're going to see many changes, and I'm sure you do too, Tina. It's what a subject matter. There's just so much to talk about it all the time.
That's for certain. Yeah, yeah. So one of the concerns that I really have in that is just making sure that we're not hurting the babies. You know, in
Absolutely.
medicine we have a phrase primum non nocere. It means first do no
Do
harm.
no harm. That's
And
right.
so I just want to make sure that we're not doing unnecessary procedures on babies, and I'm also want to make sure that we're not avoiding doing procedures when they need to be done. So it's a very double-edged sword, and that's what really concerns me. Is
Excellent.
is
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. So lastly, before I let you go, just perhaps would you share some of the highlights of your presentation, perhaps just a snippet that you're most excited about sharing with the listening audience?
Well, one of the things I'd really like to get across is the whole concept of differential diagnosis. It sounds kind of boring, it's saying a big phrase like that, but it's basically the process of making a decision means that you don't just think of the first thing that comes to you, oh, it must be posterior tongue tie, and then you look for the things to confirm that it's, oh, it's got this, it's got that, therefore it must be. But the whole process of differential diagnosis is coming up with a whole list of other things that it might be. What might be fooling you into thinking it's this? What are the things that in this baby suggest that it really could be this, and what are the things that suggest it isn't? And what are the things that give us an idea of what another thing it might be? So you list the pros and cons for several different diagnoses, and that's the concept of differential diagnosis, that you always come up with alternatives so that you're always thinking and you don't jump too
Sure.
quickly to
Yeah.
decisions.
Excellent. Well, I can't wait for more. I'll have to, of course, like everyone else, the anticipation is building for September 18th, but really good points there already. Honestly makes me reevaluate what we think and what we do right now. And as we move forward and learn more with you and, of course, our other experts on September 18th, hopefully we'll be unraveling more, or as our title suggests, putting the pieces together. So thank you so much, Dr. Christina Smillie. It's always a pleasure chatting with you.
It's great talking with you, Fiona.
And thank you again to our listening audience. Please tune in for more. And if you'd like to get some more information about this tongue tie symposium coming up on September 18th, please go to our website at goldlearning.com. Bye bye for now, everyone.